In Alabama, a man pleads guilty to the beating death of a man with a shovel after luring him to his home. In Indiana, a fight over chopped onions leads to the murder of a public defender. Right. And the Jennifer Crumley trial has wrapped up, and Mike is going to give you all the details on that. These stories and more coming at you today, Friday, February 8th. On Real Life Real Crime Daily, and I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm hurting a little bit this morning. Ago is in the shop and present, so I made it to class. No skipping class just because you were out late drinking. But
the Mardi Gras has commenced.
It's the deal is on. It has begun. So I'm playing hurt, folks. But you know what I did yesterday?
What'd you do?
I talked to Roy, Kristen, and Kristen yesterday.
That's my people. Parish forensics, right?
And
always in a pet crematory.
Under the giant American flag.
They like us and like this audience so much.
Yeah.
They want to party with us for another year.
Well, there you go. I mean, we love them too, right?
That's right.
So let's take the party to Broussard.
Well, we are going to go up to Broussard, folks. We'll tell you when that is all official and exactly how we're going to do it, because I'm got to figure out what the bet is between me and Jim on who's going to do the autopsy. But
yeah, pretty sure they're not going to.
You don't think they're going to give me a knife and
they might let you throw the handle on the crematory?
They're way too professional for that. But but you know how much we value that partnership and how terrific these guys are and how great the audience has been to them. And as somebody once said in a movie, they see dead people.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, I hope none of our listeners ever have to use them, but if you need them, they're the best for a reason, right?
And the getting dead business is pretty good. There are quite a few people getting dead last year. Right. So, and we've got some surprises coming up as we get deeper in the year with those guys. But Roy, Kristen, and Kristen, thank you very much for your partnership. Appreciate you guys.
We love y'all so much, and see you soon in the flesh. Oh, I'm going to get to see them.
You're going to get to see them at your LOPA.
I'm a keynote speaker at the LOPA. I think it's / like Coroner's Conference, whatever it is, but look forward to seeing y'all there. Let's get down to some true crime.
I want one other announcement.
What? Okay.
One other announcement that we're not gonna do our Super Bowl stuff at the beginning, because we're gonna do some Super Bowl prop bets.
Right, because we don't want all the females to turn it off now.
Well, also,
exactly.
Also, Jim has been licensed as an official sports handicapper following his 4 straight victories on bets from us.
It's getting true crime time for Friday.
An Alabama man has pled guilty to luring a victim to his home and beating him with a shovel.
Nice.
So we're going to tell you this story. The Mobile County District Attorney, a guy by the name of Keith Blackwood, announced that Morgan Barnhill pled guilty on Tuesday, February 6th, to the intentional murder for the death of Etienne Murray. Jury selection had reportedly already started when he changed his plea.
Happens often.
Blackwood said in a statement, "We're pleased that Mr. Barnhill admitted to the brutal crime for which he was indicted. This has been extremely hard on the victim's family." On March 29th of 2022 at 3:22 a.m., Mobile Police Department officers went to a residence for a possible burglary and learned Barnhill saw Murray trying to enter a shed on his property. So Barnhill hit him over the head with a shovel. During the investigation, however, Mobile police said Barnhill intentionally misled officers about an attempted burglary. They reportedly noticed the inconsistencies in his statement and concluded he made a fake phone call about the burglary. He was arrested for murder after Murray died on April 1st of 2022. Blackwood, the district attorney, said Barnhill lured Murray to his home by pretending they were attending a barbecue together. When Murray arrived and started walking away from Barnhill hit him in the head with a shovel. clubbed him. Barnhill continued to hit Murray numerous times in the head with that shovel as well as a 2x4. Barnhill.
What the hell did he need the 2x4?
Yeah, maybe it's double fisted.
Maybe the shovel broke. Yeah. Barnhill tied Murray up and dragged him to the backyard where Murray was left severely injured and unconscious, and Barnhill believed Murray stole from him. So that was his reasoning for this beating. He'll be sentenced March 4th, and surprisingly enough, he faces only 20 years in prison.
I don't know about that.
Why is that?
Alabama. Alabama will execute you. I don't know. Oh, you know why? Because he took the plea.
Well, yeah,
so
he pled it.
That's what they do.
But that's an awfully light sentence for a murder, even on a deal.
They'll offer plea deals all the way up until the time the end. They were in voir dire. The jury selection was going on, and he was like, I'm going to be bad, and I'm going to take this shit to trial. Well, he sees his potential jurors getting seated, and he's like, oh, fuck that. I better take the 20 years.
Yeah. So, well, I submit to you that 20 years for that crime is a damn good deal.
I agree.
Because what are you going to say? You might only serve 75% of that.
You know, that poor victim must not have family members that are, connected or make a big stink about it or whatever.
What's better, to go by shovel or skillet?
Ooh, I don't want to go by either one of them.
I would say shovel.
I don't know. I mean, if to get over swift and certain, cast iron skillet.
Yeah, that's true.
Get it done with one.
Yeah, I think the skillet's the.
Did you see? I posted that video on Facebook. I don't know if y'all had a chance to see it, but a lot of people have watched it. It's pretty wild.
That's crazy. Crazy. The other day we did 2 stories about Minnesota. You did one, and I did one. Do you know they were from the same town?
No.
Go back and listen to it. I was listening to it this morning. I was like, holy shit. Jim said the same town that I did.
Oh, man.
Yeah, anyway, I don't know why I said
share
that.
the same brain.
But I'm going to take you to Indianapolis, all right, where a 60-year-old man fatally stabbed his girlfriend, then staged the scene and waited an hour before calling help. On February 3rd, at approximately 8:30 p.m., the Allen County Sheriff's officers and paramedics went to a home for a report of a stabbing. When they arrived, they found an unconscious adult who was declared deceased at the scene. Deputies detained Charles Michael Calvert and arrested him on charge of murder. Calvert called 911 to report his girlfriend was no longer with us after she approached him with a knife during an argument. He said he was also armed with a knife during the dispute and that both weapons were still in the kitchen. One of the arriving officers saw Calvert in the driveway with his hands up. The officer went inside and found the victim lying face down with a big gash on her head and neck area. He checked for a pulse, but she didn't have one. The officer noted the kitchen appeared disheveled and with a broken crock pot, some bloody kitchen knives, and food items scattered around like there'd been a struggle. The officer spoke with Calvert, who said he and the victim had been dating for about a year, and that night she got very aggressive. Calvert said he was chopping up some onions, but the victim stated that he wasn't doing it correctly. She pushed the crock pot at him and picked up a knife. Calvert said he picked up another knife in response and became defensive. Crime scene technicians and investigators went to the home to document the scene, but noted that the knives near the victim's body looked like they had been staged. One serrated knife reportedly had blood on it, while the other one was relatively clean. Investigators found an onion peel in the trash, but did not observe a chopped up onion anywhere in the kitchen because the dude was lying. There was bloodstained men's clothing near the kitchen island and the victim's glasses on the counter. There were also scuff marks on the floor that showed signs of a struggle. In addition to the wound on her neck, the victim had apparent stab wounds that went through her shirt, as well as cuts on her lip, and her thumb was severely cut to the point it was nearly severed.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a defensive wound. They tried to grab the knife. One of the crime scene techs reportedly found blood in the master bathroom. Police listened to the 911 call in which Calvert appeared very calm and had no sense of urgency whatsoever. The victim is identified as Marcia Linsky. She worked as an Allen County public defender and previously served as a judge magistrate. Calvert is in custody, and he's got no bond, y'all.
Jesus, man.
Argument over proper technique for chopping onions?
Pretty sure that's he's full of shit. And he just killed.
Well, but if you're going to be full of shit, aren't you going to come up with something better than we got into an argument about chopping onions?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, she's
look. How many times do we cover on this show though that these people that it's these spot decisions that lead to murder over the dumbest things.
I mean, they had a supposed double knife fight, yet he has no wounds, and she stabbed in the head and neck and stomach and thumbs cut off, but I don't know. And public defender, former judge. That's probably a heat of the moment fight, and he killed her, and he killed her good, as Mike would say. But he wasn't thinking until afterwards. I was like, oh shit! And then you're not thinking clearly, and then you wait an hour to call. And then you're calm, just like y'all listeners just heard in that audio.
Yeah.
And that's when you come up with, it was an argument over chopping onions.
And she threw a crock pot at me.
That's just
stupid.
We've gone so fucking crazy.
Hey, ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore, because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone supporting supplement, it's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC. Hey y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glaze, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, and all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/reallife. That's GOBBLE.com/real life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had.
Okay, well, here's a story that I think is a really significant story. This is about Jennifer Crumley's trial coming to an end in Michigan. You might remember back in November of 2021, A mass shooting occurred at Oxford High School in the suburbs of Detroit. A 15-year-old named Ethan Robert Crumbly, this would be her son, was armed with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun and murdered 4 students and shot 7 others. Authorities arrested him, and they charged him as an adult. And ultimately, he was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison plus 24 years just last December 8th of 2023. But what is unique about this case is that Crumbly's parents, Jennifer and James, were both charged with involuntary manslaughter back on December 3rd of 2021 for failing to secure the handgun that Ethan used in the school shooting.
Right.
Don't think there's ever been. We had the first grader who's
people get charged with shit every day. This just made more national headlines. Shout out to Leah Marie. She'd been sending me all the information on this case. It made more national headlines because it's a school shooting.
Like, okay, well that's
brothers shoot brothers, and they charge the parents the same way. But this one has the national headlines because it led to a mass shooting.
Right. So, but I think this is the first case of parents being brought to trial from a child that committed a school shooting, I believe.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but so fast forward to February of 24 and the manslaughter trial of Jennifer. Jennifer and James are being tried separately. So the wife, the mother, was tried first. She said on the stand on Thursday, as a parent, you spend your whole life trying to protect your child from other dangers. You never would think you'd have to protect your child from harming someone else. That's what blew my mind. That was the hardest thing that I had to stomach, is that my child harmed and killed other people. Her defense team argued that she did not know her son was planning a school shooting, and therefore she shouldn't be held accountable for Ethan's crimes. Well, when you take a look at some of the background information in this case, as early as March of 21, Ethan started sending his mother disturbing texts about his state of mind, which included claims about demons and ghosts inside their home. He videotaped himself torturing animals and drew a sketch of himself committing a school shooting, which he also joked about with a friend via text message. At one point, he kept a baby bird's head in a jar, which he later placed in a school bathroom. Through all of this, the parents never sought any kind of therapy for him or any other kind of treatment. The 9mm 6 Sauer he used in the school shooting was purchased 4 days before the shooting by his father, and Ethan was present with the father when he bought the weapon. Jennifer referred to the gun as, quote, Ethan's new Christmas present in a social media post. Police said there was no indication that Crumbly had faced any disciplinary issues prior to the shooting, so there was nothing in his official record at school prior, but Crumbly, this is Ethan Crumbly, had to meet with school officials the day prior to the shooting, and then again the morning of the shooting. The first meeting occurred after a teacher spotted him using his phone to search for ammunition and reported him. During that discussion, Crumbly told them that he and his mother had recently traveled to the shooting range and that shooting sports are a family hobby. Following that meeting, school officials left a voicemail and email for Jennifer that she never responded to. But she later texted her son saying, quote, LOL, I'm not mad at you. You have to learn not to get caught. This is the day before the school shooting. The second meeting, which occurred on the morning of the school shooting, it was a different teacher that found a violent drawing on Crumbly's desk, describing the drawing as that of a semi-automatic handgun, pointing at the words, quote, the thoughts won't stop, help me. In another section of the note was a drawing of a bullet with the following words above the bullet, quote, blood everywhere. Between the drawing of the gun and the bullet is a drawing of a person who appears to have been shot twice and bleeding. Further down the drawing are the words, quote, my life is useless, and to the right of it are the words, quote, the world is dead. After this meeting, both parents were urgently summoned to the school. So you literally have a meeting with administrators and the kid and the parents summoned to the school that day of the shooting. Crumbly's parents were shown the drawing. They're instructed to seek counseling for the son within 48 hours, or the school would call in Child Protective Services. The parents resisted the idea of taking Ethan with them home for the day, and so they, after all this, they just left him there at school that day, and we now know, what took place after all of that. And so, after relatively short deliberations, the jury came back with a guilty verdict. And so Mrs. Jennifer Crumley is going to go to prison for this. And, prosecutors were clear that she could have stopped the shooting before it happened by doing any number of things at any point in time during the journey of this guy. So
I think one of the things that got her, and this is something else Leah Marie sent me, was she actually testified or part of the testimony about that gun range shit. She's like, no, it's a family hobby, and we got him that pistol to go to the gun range. Bird's head in the bathroom, all the drawings, certainly signs were there. Who knew? I mean, obviously they didn't think he was going to do it, or they would have done something about it. But yeah, they call you in the day of. But does he leave school and go get the weapon and return? And I don't know.
They think he had it hidden somewhere on campus. He didn't leave. He didn't leave the property. And I think that the big question here is, while I think all three of us, and probably most of you listening, feel like justice was probably served in this case, right? But I can't help but feel a bit concerned about the dangerous precedent here, because it can become kind of a slippery slope where families are automatically charged in cases like this moving forward, and it becomes.
Let's talk about that, though, and I don't think that sets any sort of precedent, and I'll tell you why. The majority of these cases, and of course, I could spout off probably 100 cases right now of situations, not necessarily as grisly as school shootings, but you can look at the majority of school shootings. The parents were, in most cases, good people. They had no idea this was going on. There wasn't as many signs as in this case. This particular individual here was doing everything he could to tell everybody he was going to do this. And the parents, it seems like, were very negligent in catching those clues.
What really did her, what did her in is the text message saying, I'm not mad at you. You got to learn how to get caught. Yeah, bitch, you're going to prison.
But even taking that away, the drawings, the stuff that she was privy to, certainly makes her culpable.
Right.
I think that's you're right, Mike, in that does that set a precedent where now parents are responsible for everything that their 15, 16, 17-year-old
Where does the line get drawn?
Hopefully parents that hear this, if they see decapitated bird and all these drawings and shit, they won't go buy their kid a pistol 4 days.
I think there's certainly one big thing that comes out of it positively is
to be more aware.
Is if as a deterrent for absent-minded parents who aren't paying attention to their kids, get clued into what the hell is going on in their lives, so you make sure nothing like this is ever possible with your kid. But I do think we're gonna see this utilized as a precedent and kind of stretched in some iffy situations. But
jury or peers voted, let it be.
And she'll get sentenced in April.
And our hearts go out to all the victims of this asshole.
All right, we're going to go to Florida, and we're going to score one for the good guys.
There you go.
A man was shot dead by police in Florida on Tuesday after taking hostages while trying to rob a bank.
There you go.
The suspect, later identified by police as 36-year-old Sterling Avalanche, was shot by SWAT snipers after he presented deadly force towards one of the hostages. Police received a report of a bank robbery with multiple hostages at the Bank of America in Bell Tower, Florida, just 7 miles south of Fort Myers on Tuesday. It was a chaotic scene. We deployed all technology. That's the RoboDog, our SWAT team, and the electric surveillance drones. A group of deputies immediately went into the building behind the building and began to, as dozens of people ran out. And this is a quote from the chief. They began to secure all other portions of the building while simultaneously hostage negotiations began with the suspect. Avalanche was armed with a knife and claimed to have a bomb. He had 2 hostages at this point, and they were trying to negotiate with him, constantly and get him to give up those hostages. And at one point, he had a knife to the throat of one of the hostages, a female. When he presented deadly force like that, our SWAT snipers shot and killed the suspect. That again from the sheriff, as they were concerned for the safety of that hostage. Right. Both hostages were safe, were unharmed, and the shooter from the SWAT team will be on administrative leave, which is normal company policy anywhere.
Paid vacation.
Yeah. Later on Tuesday, they identified that suspect, and police said he was a convicted felon with an extensive criminal history, including drug trafficking, aggravated assault, and carrying a concealed firearm from several states. So the police win that one.
Yep, and
good job on them that no one got hurt.
Save lives. I'm going to tell you, probably some video come out on it when he put that knife to that girl's throat. First of all, why would you bring a knife to a bank robbery? But shame on him for that. And you put it to her throat, and they took the shot then, which means.
Yeah, because that's deadly force. You're authorized.
She got brain matter on her, but they saved her life or his life.
Yep.
Whoever had, he had the knife to the throat. He didn't see that bullet coming.
Yeah, when it gets that serious, what are the percentages you're going to come out of it?
Right,
out of that
the thing
unharmed?
is that had they stood there, so let's say he'd taken the shot and accidentally hit her, I'm pretty sure they're highly trained up where that wouldn't happen. But he had to take the shot, and then that's the hero in the deal, the sniper who had the training and the ability to do that and save that life, and not kill her.
How long do they set out? Like a week or?
They'll have the state police, somebody come in and review it and whatever. It's just standard procedure, and it's that's.
So it wasn't real.
But most of the time, though, and if you're involved in a shooting, they'll make you go see the department shrink and all that stuff. Make sure you not having night, whatever.
So it wasn't real when Harry Callahan killed a guy at breakfast and then killed another guy at lunch and then got another guy late afternoon. That
is Hollywood.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go down to Acapulco. What y'all know about some Acapulco?
Acapulco. I've never been.
You know who had a place in Acapulco? John Wayne.
Who?
John Wayne.
Really? The Duke?
My parents used to go there all the time when I was a kid.
I remember they used to do the cliff dive.
Yes,
from there.
Absolutely. Yep. So, y'all, it may be time to cancel your winter beach vacation and think about a ski trip or a staycation because the stories keep coming from all these tropical areas, right? So here's another one. Tourists had barely started trickling back into the Mexican resort city of Acapulco after last year's hurricane, tore the city all up, right? But the gangland killings on the beaches have already returned, with 3 people being gunned down in recent days. Late Friday, the government of the Pacific coast state of Guerrero said it was deploying 60 gun-toting detectives to patrol the beaches in light of the violent events that have occurred recently. Y'all, they always try to protect tourism, but it's been a shit show down there, so let's continue. At least 3 people were shot dead on beaches in Acapulco last week, one by a gunman who arrived and escaped by boat, right? Unusual. The violence continues Despite the
that's a hit, right? I mean, that's a targeted hit.
The violence continues despite the presence of thousands of soldiers and National Guard officers deployed to the city after the Category 5 Hurricane Otis hit in late October, which is total destruction, y'all, if you're not familiar with hurricanes. The storm killed at least 52 people, with many still missing. It also caused severe damage to almost all of Acapulco's hotels. Only a fraction of the city hotels remain in. That's typical. But even with throngs of troops now on the streets, gang violence is back. And on Friday, the Mexican government sent out a videotape warning local use about online recruitment activity by cartels. That's another bad thing, right? About social media now. They used to have to do it by word of mouth, face to face. Now they just get their people by social media. The warning said that young people, many under 18, are being lured by acquaintances or social media sites offering jobs in industries like agriculture. But once recruited, they are being forced to work for a drug cartel. Drug cartels in Mexico resort to force and deception to recruit foot soldiers, and they are now using minors to fill out the ranks. At the same time, the expansion of the cartels into seemingly legitimate businesses in Mexico sometimes makes it hard to determine the job offers linked to the gangs. And last year, we did a report about 8 workers that were killed in Guadalajara after they tried to quit jobs at a call center that served as a front operation for a real estate scam aimed at elderly Americans. And that call center was controlled by violent cartels, RSF.
Yeah.
You know,
God, what isn't? I mean,
man, I used to love to go to Mexico all the time.
Yeah.
I don't do it anymore.
It's dangerous, man.
Yep.
I love the beach, but I'm no way we're going on a beach vacation.
I mean, I used to love Swim used to love to go to the border towns with his boys, right? And you could go down there and just have a really good old clean throw down.
I don't know about the clean part.
Town and Boys Town and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, good young American men fun.
Donkey shows.
Donkey shows and everything else. And shit, you can't do it. They killing police chiefs in the middle of the street in broad daylight.
Yeah,
man.
man.
And they're killing indiscriminately. Gone are the days, y'all.
Out of control. Ladies, let's face it. Your significant other has all kinds of potential to blow it this Valentine's Day. You don't have to get stuck with half-dead roses or stale candy because we've got your back. Real Life, Real Crime and The Daily Show have teamed up with Besame Cosmetics.
Besame Cosmetics, a luxury vintage makeup brand that celebrates the elegance, sophistication, and romance of bygone eras. Inspired by the glamour of the past, our products honor the style, spirit, and sensibility of female beauty.
From richly pigmented lipsticks to exquisite powders and fragrances, each Besame product is meticulously crafted to evoke the opulence and allure of vintage Hollywood.
We've secured a special deal for Real Life, Real Crime and Daily Show listeners. Just go to BesameCosmetics.com. That's BESAME Cosmetics.com and use the promo code RLRC at checkout. That's BesameCosmetics.com and use the promo code RLRC at checkout for 15% off your entire purchase. Well, let's go to another place that has some beautiful beaches. Let's go to Hawaii.
Yep, been there once. Don't have to go back.
Police in Hawaii have arrested and charged a man in connection with an alleged acid attack on a woman in Honolulu on January 23rd. The victim has been identified as a 25-year-old visiting teacher from China, Danny Yang Zhang. She was allegedly attacked while on a walk in the evening outside a mall in Honolulu. Zhang reportedly told witnesses that she was walking by a Planet Fitness when an unknown man threw an unknown liquid at her, causing her skin and clothes to immediately burn. Zhang ran into the nearby gym for help, where witnesses assisted her until medical personnel arrived. On Jan 25, Honolulu authorities announced the arrest of a 29-year-old man identified as Sebastian Makwan. On Tuesday, a week after the attack, a grand jury indicted Makwan on charges of attempted murder in the second degree and assault in the first degree. Anyone simply walking in a public place has the right to feel safe. Mr. Makwan is accused of violating that right and critically injuring an innocent person, the DA said. The victim suffered life-threatening injuries. Authorities have not discussed a possible motive in this case. Emergency medical professionals that treated Zhang said the victim's severe injury was followed by another health concern. Once she was intubated, the chemical ended up in her mouth, burning it and causing her lungs to collapse. So it turned into even a more critical situation. She is recovering now and has been able to breathe without a tube for several days. Makwan had just been released from jail on $8,000 bail 1 day before this attack. Yeah. He had been detained since October on assault charges to which he had pleaded not guilty. This time his bail is set at $2 million, so I don't suppose he's going to be getting out again, but released a day before he did this.
That's horrible.
It's deceiving when they say recovering, because that means
you ain't never recovering from that.
You think you're going to make a full recovery. No, that just means she's breathing. And what the hell do you carry acid in? And if it eats the clothes and everything else, or are you running around with a what kind of container do you carry acid in? I don't know. I mean,
the day after you get out of jail.
Yeah, man, fuck him. He's done. Hate it for her.
Yeah, that's all. I couldn't imagine. Awful.
The mambo.
That's right. We got the Mardi Gras Mambo today. There is no Mile High Crime because it is Mardi Gras weekend.
What? The biggest one.
The biggest one.
The conclusion of Mardi Gras.
So I'm foregoing a Mile High Crime today, and I'm going to give you some interesting crime information, or I guess you could call this rules that you have to abide by in New Orleans during Mardi Gras. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you might get a ticket for all our Louisiana listeners out there.
Or the ones all over the world.
All over the world that may just be curious or coming in. You're right. So police officers will be visible along the parade routes before, during, and after parades, and they'll engage with crowd control, and plainclothes officers will be among spectators for detection of crimes. One of the biggest crimes is pickpocketing.
Done that, yeah. Not the pickpocket, I've busted them.
Let's make that clear. The Mardi Gras ordinance entitled Throws and Throwing prohibits riders and maskers from tossing throws or favors from the rear or front of the floats or trucks. It also prohibits them from throwing in the parade formation in disbanding areas. It's quite hazardous for trinket seekers to either be in front or rear floats every year. Yeah. Or I don't want to say every year, but people get hit all the time. Most times you won't hear about it because it's bumps and they just get a bruise or something on their leg, but they have had people die getting run over by these floats. Remember, folks, that the neutral ground, which is the median, is public property. Erecting of stands or platforms on the sidewalk, street, and or medians is prohibited. The chaining of ladders to public property, utility poles, stuff like that is not legal.
Yeah, real quick, the reason they use ladders is you sit your kids up on top so you can catch the best throws.
Yeah,
they don't want you to chain it there and leave, because normally you have parades back to back. Like there's one that rolls before Endymion on Saturday, and then Endymion comes afterwards.
Right, and no ladders, chairs, ice chests, chaise loungers, etc. should be placed in the intersections or medians between curbs and public streets. The reason for that, they want to be able to freely pass if they need to get somewhere. Right. The rule governing ladders is they should be placed as many feet back from the street curb as the ladder is high. So if you got a 6 foot ladder, you need to be 6 foot back from the street.
And again, because the crowd will get in front of you, and you're still at the height. And you're on the float. The people in the balconies or people in the bleachers on ladders, you want to hit them anyway.
Right.
I've done it.
Right. Spectators are reminded it's also illegal to drink from an open glass container on or near parade routes, as well as certain areas in the French Quarter. Use extreme caution when attempting to cross the parade route, just for what we told you. Of course, you don't ever want to drink and drive. Right. Make sure your child knows. This is important because kids do go to the day parades and some night parades in New Orleans. Make sure your child knows if a stranger's trying to talk to them, to say, you're not my parent, get away and find a uniformed officer. You're going to see officers all over the place in New Orleans during this time in the French Quarter and around the parade routes. So they're easy to find. They'll be on horses a lot of times.
They'll be on every corner, every block, and several will be assigned to each.
That's right. Never cross over parade barricades, Mike, to pick up a fallen throw. So if you see a pair of panties they throw off the float, you can't cross.
Not even for panties?
Not even for panties. You can't cross that barricade, Mike.
And if you see your buddy on the other side, I've witnessed it. Don't cross that barricade and try to run out and then to jump the barricade to the other side of St. Charles or whatever, because they're going to bust your ass.
That's right. And look, a tip from me personally, it's not written on this, but anytime I go to New Orleans, I don't bring a wallet. I take my money, put it in my front pocket.
No jewelry, money in the front pocket down as far as you can. I make
Jim, I've seen a picture of you
with
the fanny pack.
Fanny pack might be all right if it's in the front. Purses should be carried across the torso, ladies, but preferably place important items in your front pocket as well.
If you have a man, your man should be man enough to carry your ID and your credit card if you need it.
Yeah, not a day to bring the
I don't
even
let my women bring a purse.
Yeah.
Plural?
Yeah, you carry
women, you said?
Women.
You're stable?
Wendy makes me carry my lipstick, her lipstick in my pocket.
I have no problem with that. Because I don't want them to be accosted. Look, you get in those crowds. I've been to the crowds where they were so big that literally you get moved one way or another and people are grabbing my junk and stuff.
Yeah.
And you can't lift your arms.
Oh, people grab my junk all the time. Right. Big problem. Last and not least, and this is probably the most important because this particular crime has gotten so bad. If and when you're drinking in New Orleans, never leave your drink unattended.
Oh, yeah.
Never, ever, ever. It will drop something in that drink, and you're going to wake up not knowing what the hell happened.
And get your shit.
So never leave them unattended.
A couple more little ones, Woody Mardi Gras tips. If you are going in, first of all, parking, you're going to come back and find your shit not there. If you park in front of Ago's house or something like that. If you get in a wreck and there are no injuries, pull your shit to the side of the road, exchange information, because the cops are not coming, not the state police, not NOPD or whatever. You get your information, get their license plate number, get their insurance card information, take a photo of it on your phone, and file your shit later on because nobody's coming. Most importantly, now, I was raised in New Orleans on the parades and everything else. If you're going down with a large group of people, you invariably, someone is going to get lost. You need to have a rally point. Say, this big ass oak tree at St. Charles and whatever. Somebody's going to get separated, you get separated and you can't find them because the crowds are that big. Go back to your rally point and meet, especially if you're going to walk from the parade routes all the way to the quarter, because this is like 8 or 9 blocks at the best. And you get in a quarter, you need to have another rally point because it happens.
That is great advice.
Every year.
Every year, you're right, that happens.
And make sure everybody has each other's cell phone numbers and all that. And your cell phones, you better put them fuckers in your front pocket because that's a big deal.
You better believe it. Anyway. So that is your Mardi Gras tips.
Love it. How's it going?
Today.
Good section.
Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser-cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
But of course, we ain't foregoing a kinky crime.
Can't do that.
No holiday is important enough to forego a kinky crime.
Got to have kinky crimes for Friday. Oh, Laredo. Oh, that's one. My border town, and used to go see the donkey show and everything else.
Donkey show.
I spent many, many, many nights in Laredo. And a couple was arrested for having sex in the grassy area of Bruni Plaza, according to Laredo police. The 32-year-old male and a 38-year-old female were arrested on the charge of public lewdness, which is a Class A misdemeanor. I'd take that charge to get that. Yeah, right. So about midnight last week, officers responded to a public lewdness at the Bruni Plaza. Officers observed a man on top of a woman on the grass between the street and the sidewalk directly under the streetlight. You got to be able to see what you're doing, right?
I like to watch.
The male
turn the lights off.
Exactly.
What are you doing?
The male was moving continuously as he appeared to be having sex. An officer yelled to get the couple's attention. The man looked over at the officer, turned his attention back toward the woman, and continued thrusting.
There you go.
He's like,
hey, we got an audience tonight.
Give me a few minutes here.
When approached by the police, the man grabbed his private part and put it back into his shorts before getting off the woman.
Well, at least he did
that was classy.
Right?
That's classy.
Yeah, they didn't even want to shake hands, and the cop said, the woman's shorts were pushed over to one side. Her top was pushed up along with her bra, but she was not exposing her chest area. The male uttered that they were not having sex. They were just arguing.
Over chopped onions.
That's how I like to argue.
Tell it to the judge. And that's your kinky crimes for Friday.
Well, that evidence was all circumstantial. I mean,
they could have been arguing.
Right?
Man.
Yeah, they were arguing the bumping uglies.
Yeah. Very good.
Right on
time. Super Bowl, boys.
Super Bowl.
A Super Bowl dumb criminals.
Super Bowl.
Well, there's a lot of dumb criminals playing in that game. Somebody's dumb daddy criminal got himself a DUI.
Yeah,
one of the quarterbacks. We won't talk about that. But, one of the most fun things, and it's fun for the ladies too with Super Bowl, is prop bets.
Yes.
So I find
it's fun for the ladies too.
No, really. At Super Bowl parties, the women go crazy over the prop bets because there's no advantage that the guys who follow the game all year and know it well really have with a lot of these bets. So I've got 10 prop bets for this year's Super Bowl, and we're going to make predictions here and see how we do.
I bet you $1 million this dude's about to say something about that singer.
She's in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So first prop bet is, will any player or coach cry during the national anthem?
No.
Jim is a no.
I'm going to say yes.
You know, the Eagles coach cried last year, that Nick Sirianni cried. And those the camera people during the national anthem are just searching that crowd, looking for somebody to cry. I'm going to go with Woody on yes, we're going to get some patriotism from somebody there. Right. Okay, number 2.
Well, you're saying from a player coach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say no. All right.
Number 2, will a player leave the game and not return due to concussion symptoms?
No.
Will anybody have to leave the game because of concussion symptoms?
Because of the protocol?
No, that's just they check you.
Yeah,
but
they
put you into the tent and say you're okay. No, you have to come out of the game.
I'm
period.
Saying, yes, somebody else.
So somebody will have to come out of the game permanently because of that. I'm going to go no on that one. If the Chiefs win, will Andy Reid be doused in barbecue sauce after the game? This is apparently something that happened. Jim is a no.
I'm saying no.
What is a no? The odds, by the way, if you were making this prop bet, are like 150 to 1 on the no. So we'll all three go no there, but I hope he does. Number 4. Are you guys familiar with the Drake Super Bowl curse?
I don't know anything about that dude.
I don't really know anything about him either, other than the fact that a viral trend on social media claims whichever sports team or figure that famous rapper Drake supports always loses. Like his team always loses everything. I know the Toronto Raptors have lost a lot with him on their side. So what team will he be representing is basically what the prop bet is, because that's the team.
San Francisco.
So Jim says he's 49ers, Drake. Woody?
I'll probably say the same thing.
I'm going to say Drake is for the Chiefs. Okay. How many players will have a passing attempt? Meaning, and here, this is an over-under. Will it be more than 2.5 or less than 2.5?
More than 2.5.
So the real question is, does anybody other than the quarterback throw a pass during the course?
More than 2.5.
So you're saying there's no trick play where...
Well, there could be one.
Well, then that would be more than...
No, that wouldn't be more than 2.5.
Yeah, because you count both starting quarterbacks. So you're starting with 2.
You're saying
how many
both
players?
teams.
Yeah, how many players will have a pass?
How many players will have a passing attempt in the game?
I'm going over to
Yeah, I'd say over 2.5 in that situation. I'd say there's at least one flea flicker.
Yeah, me too.
Well, or flea flicker. Flea flicker would be the same thing, but a trick play of some sort.
Okay, I'm going to say...
We'll say William Perry is going to throw a pass.
Okay.
The frizz.
Okay, so number 6. Will there be more or less than 120,000 beers sold?
More.
There's
for the Super Bowl.
It's a smaller stadium. It only seats 72,000 people.
More.
Okay, so you're saying that they're going to drink more than 2
Tiger
beers
Stadium,
on average apiece.
It'd be triple that Tiger Stadium.
Yeah. Or at Rosenblatt.
Well, it's Vegas. I think Vegas, you got to go high on that one. Okay, here's the Woody question. How many times will Taylor Swift be shown live during the game? How many times on camera? It's an over-under at 5.5. Will it be more than 5.5 times or less?
More.
Wow. I think it's more too.
By the way, we were talking about J-Lo the other day. J-Lo smokes this check.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Taylor? Yeah,
Jenny from the block.
But
not even
Jennifer Garner smokes both of them. Okay, so number 6. What color will the Gatorade be that is dumped on the head coach? So your choices are purple, blue, yellow, green, red, orange, or clear.
Orange.
You guys are both going with orange, which is pretty good. That's because you think the Chiefs are going to win, and you figure orange. No. I'm going to go with the red. I'm going to go with the red because I think The other team's going to win. Okay, number 8. How many times will the chains be used for a measurement? So how many times will they have to measure for a first down? It's an over-under at 1.5. Will it be more than 1.5 times?
Oh, I'd say over.
Okay, I agree with you. I was surprised that was set so low. I guess it doesn't happen as often as we think. Okay, here's one that doesn't happen that often, but seems to happen in big games. Will a kicker hit the upright or crossbar on a missed field goal or extra point? So will we get a doink in the game?
I'm going to say no on that.
You got Bucker and Moody, two of the best.
I'm going to say yes, just to be different there. Okay. Last one, and then we have a bonus one on the score. Who will the Super Bowl MVP thank first when they are interviewed? So regardless of who it is, who will they thank first? Will they thank teammates? Will they thank the coach? Will they thank their family? Will they thank God? Will they thank the owner? Or will they not thank anyone?
God.
I'd say 20 years ago that would have been the case. And if San Francisco wins, Purdy will definitely thank God. I don't know that Mahomes goes God first.
Why?
Because he might go Andy Reid first.
He didn't believe in God?
I'm going to say, no, I don't. I do not know anything about his religious beliefs, but I'm going to say coach because I think Mahomes.
He's just like the State Farm guy.
I'm surprised you didn't have Taylor Swift as an option for that.
No, we could write it in. Do you want to write in, Taylor?
No.
Okay. All right. So tiebreaker. Who wins and what's the score? Jim.
I'm going to say definitely the Chiefs. And I'm going to say the final score will be 35-28.
Woody.
Niners.
Ooh,
30,
what are you going
35, 33.
Ooh,
tight game.
That would be a great game. I'm going to say Niners as well. I'm going to say it's a lower scoring game than that.
Yeah, I was like,
21-17.
I'm going to run the freaking table.
Wouldn't that be something?
So now, is this our standard bet or is this double or nothing?
I think it's
no, just standard bet on the win.
See, Jim's already got that money working for
Since y'all picked the other team, standard bet on the win.
Okay. Well, I mean, but the whole thing we're betting on, not just the results of the game. We got all these prop bets.
Good deal.
All right. Any final thoughts?
There should have been one on will there be a streaker? Would you have gone yay or nay on?
I would actually go yay on that.
It's Vegas. I think there's a chance for a streaker.
There's going to be so much security. I'm going to get out. Won't let them get out of the bleachers. Let's see. Mardi Gras weekend. Everybody have a kick-ass time.
Be
safe, and watch out for each other. And
yes,
be safe. And then so we will. Oh well, you know what? Our next episode will be Lundi Gras anyway, so we'll still get to talk about it. But
I got something special on that.
Yeah, y'all have a good time. We love and appreciate each and every one of you.
Mike?
Yeah, and if you're coming by my place, bring your own puke bucket. I am not cleaning up after these guys, but I'll have a very full crew. And ladies out there, we have. You wouldn't believe these three knuckleheads could score what we scored, but a great company, Besame Cosmetics, has done a deal with us where if you go to besamecosmetics.com and use the code RLRC, you will get a 15% discount on some incredible cosmetics.
I checked it out, researched it extensively. It's really classy.
Yeah.
I mean, really
some cool
really
compacts
cool vintage
for you.
stuff.
We don't mess around over here. We don't do the
really vintage stuff, and we know y'all love your makeup.
All right. Until next time, I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agavino.
For Real Life, Real Crime Daily. Peace.
Now go ahead.